Hey guys, Linda here. Well, I decided to do just a story that I've experienced in my life about last year in January during PAX South. Um, Telling by my sweater, it has to do with Markiplier. So this video is about the time I met Markiplier. Oh boy. In last year, in 2015, I was able to go see Markiplier and meet him for the first time since this was his first time coming to PAX South in San Antonio. I was so excited, but my mom was like, "Nope, you can only go one day," and I didn't want to miss school, so I went Saturday. So basically, I missed a lot of events that he was in, but I was fine with that because, in all realness, I wanted to be one-on-one with him and just prepare for myself. So I bought my badge in either September or October, and I remember thinking I want to give him something so that, I can contribute to, the famous well-known stuff that is passed down to Mark at PAX events or conventions. So I decided that I'm going to give him a drawing because what do I do best? I draw. I decided to do a literal life-size drawing of Mark, 5'10". I made it 1 inch taller though, so it's technically it's 5'11" if you look at it. I did a life-size drawing of Mark, and the thing is that I actually had about 3 months to get this life-size drawing done. So I was like, okay, cool. I have enough time to do this. November passes, and I'm like, oh, I still didn't do the life-size drawing. And then December passes, and I'm like, oh, I still have to do that. I can do it. Finally, it is Sunday night. Literally about 5 to 4 days till my meet and greet with Mark at PAX South. And well, I had not done a single thing on it except for the head. I still had an entire body to draw, and I was like, I am determined to give him this. I am going to leave my mark, that's what I did there, on this man for today. Because I really wanted to do this, and I felt like this was a project that I needed to do, but I just didn't do it until the last minute. I spent about almost 48 hours on the entire thing, and I completed it to almost perfection. Well, to get this. Yes, I got an entire life-size drawing of Mark, and it was terrifying because it's so big. Oh my god. It is. Oh. So it was Saturday. It was the morning, and PAX didn't open up till about 9 o'clock. And maybe me, I was like, I need to get there early because Mark never tells us when he's gonna get there, unless it's the day of. But it was literally 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm ready to go, Mom. So my mom has this boot on her leg because she has arthritis in her ankle, and so I literally made my mom, because I was like so nervous, I was so pumped, but yet I totally blanked out on like my mom's situation. So I was just walking around about 2 or 3 floors of escalators and stairs, and luckily I had my badge, and I was just going around everywhere just trying to find Mark. But I spent about 2 hours there before I actually saw anything. I didn't even see Wade, I didn't see Bob, I literally saw no one. And so I was on the verge of giving up, and I was like, I'm not gonna meet Mark today, Mom. And I was very, very sad. And so I literally tell you, it was like a fucking movie scene. I was going down the escalator, and then the doors are right in front of the escalator, so that who's ever going down the escalators can just like look right through the doors to see who's coming in. And I tell you, this is real. As I'm going down those escalators, this light shined through the door, the glass doors, and out came Mark himself. He's a really short person, but he had really fluffy hair at the time. And there he was, just comes out of this door, light shining through it, like as if he was an angel directly descending from heaven. And oh my god, I usually don't jump on escalators, but I did. And he was striding to get something, and he looked determined, and I was more determined. So I was halfway up the escalator. I was halfway down the escalator. I saw him, and I panicked, and I jumped that half. I literally jumped. I had the drawing in my hand, and I literally jumped down, and I went by the pillar that was next to the escalators, and I kind of hid behind it as he walked. And my mom was still on the escalators, and she was just like, what is this child doing? Mom! He's here! I literally lost my voice, and I started screaming internally, but luckily, I was not looked at, because there were a lot of people who were doing the same thing, but with other people. And it was just so magical, because there he was in front of me, and I'm just letting him slip through my fingertips. And so my mom notices that I am not speaking, so she literally rumbles up her voice and yells out his name, and literally he did, like, he called me. She was like, yes ma'am, and I was like, it was so magical. And he literally stopped, and he went towards my mom, and he was like, how can I help you? And I was like, how can you help me? Like, that was what I was saying inside, because I was so mesmerized. And he looked down, and he was like, oh, okay. Literally, my mom was like, she's like, hello, Mark, just shaking his hand nonchalantly. And here I am. I'm just like, oh, this is my daughter. Her name is Melinda. She is a huge fan of you. She likes your videos. She's quite nervous right now because she likes you a lot. He's still breathing really, really hard. He's real. And I remember he looked at me, he held his hand, and I shook his hand. He was like, I like your sweater. It's like, thank you. And then it didn't click until I came home. I was like, oh, it's my sweater. It's his sweater. And then my mom was like, she was like, oh yeah, she made this like drawing for you. She's like, and he was like, oh, she did. I literally give it to him, and he's like, wow, this is like slightly heavy. And then he's like, open it, and then he's like, wow, it's really big. And the more he opened it, he's like, oh my god, it's life size. And I'm over here like panicking and yet dying at the same time. And I was like, oh my god, he's so good. And when he finally opened it to see that it was him, life size, he was like, oh my god. I could tell there was fear in him. And I was like, and Mark was just standing there, and he was looking at it, and he was like, oh my god, this is really good. And he's like, this is amazing. He's like, I've never gone on life-size drawing before. And my mom's like, well, now you do, Mark. And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is really good. I'm like, he's like, oh, you even made it a little taller. I was like, I was crying. Ended up taking this picture where he held a life-size drawing next to him, and I just stood there just mesmerizing. And then we talked a little bit more as he left. I was still so nervous that I forgot to ask him for a hug. You know how much I hated myself after that. It was so happy. And then as he was leaving, he was like, well, I'm gonna go get some tacos. He's like, I will see you around, I guess. Shakes my hand, and he's like, oh, do you have like a Sharpie so I can sign your badge? And I was like, yeah. And I remember I was wearing my badge around my neck, so he literally walks up to me, just grabs my badge, and he was signing it. And then he's like, wait. And then he's like, since you gave me a drawing, I'm gonna give you a drawing. And I was like, so he gave me, let me show you. He gave me Tiny Box Tim, right here, Tiny Box Tim. And I was like, and as he was doing that, I was like, oh it's $20 too. And he was like, yeah. And, you know, he shook my mom's hand, and then he shook my hand, and he was like, see you around. Turned around and left and went to go get something to eat because he was hungry. He was a hungry boy. So I remember I looked at my hand, I was like, I'm going to cherish this hand forever. And I still do. Remember, I went home and we were actually gonna get ready to take my dog Sammy out to go get his annual shots for the year. I happened to see this tweet from Wade saying, if you want to meet me, Mark, and Bob, go meet us lobby of the convention center. And I was like, Mom, we have to go. We got Sammy shots, we took him back home. And then literally my mom dropped me off and she's like, I'm just gonna wait in the parking lot today because you do what you want to do. And she ended up not doing that. She ended up going outside with me because she was like, you know what, you're not going to be able to speak again, so I'm just going to go with you. I go inside and I'm just looking around and I find the lobby and there's just a bunch of people and there's like somehow Mark got a lifesaver and he literally just like started doing like this chant thing and he made us all follow him up to this area where it's open to where, you know, he could be much more with them, with us, with the fans, and just be more like one-on-one, you know. So since there were a lot of us, he actually had Bob and Wade do one photo shoot, and then Mark do another one, and then they would do one all together. I happened to get all three. So I have this picture for Bob and Wade. It was so nice, and I actually got, and like Bob and Wade weren't supposed to sign anything, and I actually got Wade to sign it, and like I remember Bob's exact words. He's like, Wade, you're not supposed to be signing anything, and Wade was like, and I got my picture with them, and I remember my mom like pulled me aside and she was like, wow, they're really tall. I'm like, yeah. She's like, but Mark's not that tall. I was like, no, he's not, he's really short. And I got a picture with Mark, and Mark was like just jumping around, hopping, and I remember I was next in line, so I was next in the circle that's surrounded, and he was like, oh god, and then he looked at me and he pulled me aside, he pulled me, and he literally was this close. I remember his face was this close to me. He's like, you ready? He's like, 1, 2, 3, say cheese. I was like, and I was like, oh my god, I've never been that close to a guy in my life. My mom took the picture, and this is that picture. It is legendary. It's usually my profile picture for almost anything. I finally got a picture with all three of them. It was really cool. It was a very cool experience. I got to meet Mark, got to meet Bob and Wade, and very enticing experience as I got to meet them, because it was yet stressful, but yet memorable. One, I gave him a life-size drawing. I'm pretty sure Mark has never received a life-size drawing in his years on YouTube before. Well, I was the first. I got to meet him, and it was so much fun. Then I wish I actually went for all 3 days and missed that one day of school, because who cares about school, kids? Yeah, I wish I went through all 3 days so I could be at least been in the panel at the autograph session and just all of these things. But you know what? You live and learn. That's what I tried to do this year at PAX South, but you know what happened? He didn't even show up. But Wade made it a much more better experience. I actually got to talk with him one-on-one, and I got to actually meet Tyler. He was so nice, beautiful, beautiful man. This is another picture with me and Wade, several pictures, and then here's one with me and Tyler. And I actually got to meet Ken and Mary. Yeah, I think that's about it, I think. Oh, I got to meet Molly too. Yes, Molly. Such a sweetheart. They're so nice. They're so nice. And so beautiful. Precious. And I met Shrek 2016. It was interesting. He had cat ears on. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say to y'all. And look, here's my badge from 2016. I got Cinemas Ken, Tyler, here, and then Molly, and then I got Mary, and then I got Wade. So it was a fun experience. I will be going to PAX South this next year, and let's see who goes. I'm kind of hoping, you know, Matt, Ryan, Mark, of course, Bob, and Wade, because I know Wade is going, so I'm going to try and see if I can get the other two up here, because badges are still available, so you should go check out PAX South and buy a badge, so I won't be alone. But I won't be, because I'll have my best friends. So. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this story time with me, because I felt the need to share this experience, because it was very important to me, as it will be when y'all meet Markiplier one day. I hope you have that experience because it's memorable. So I have fun with you guys. I love you. And I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye bye. The fandom, Dan and Phil, make a shout out for Mark because a girl in Toronto, I believe, sent a shout out for Dan on his birthday, and I actually did the same thing in my. But the thing is that I think someone else did it as well because it was the exact same information I had, just with a different picture. And so I'll take a little bit of credit for it, but not a lot because obviously the person who did it, congratulations, you did it.